Hi, I am the Ancient Ninja, and this is the Nexus of Truth. Let's get pointy. I'm so excited to talk about this today. So this is one of my theories. And before you guys get into, well, that's been thought of before, everything has, okay? I hope to offer a simple perspective to those who are new in their awakening journey or who haven't, perhaps thought about this stuff in such detail. So when you think about ancient knowledge, you wonder, where did it all go? Why don't we remember? Why is it that we can find artifacts buried millions of years underground, but most of the knowledge is gone? It's lost, forgotten. Well, I have a couple theories about that. 1. Electromagnetic frequencies. Did you know that electromagnetic frequencies cause memory loss? I'll cite everything below, by the way. There's been tests run with electromagnetic waves that have proven that it impairs the memory. Now, what surrounds our atmosphere? There's Schumann resonance. Electromagnetic frequencies. So upon entering this planet, and you think of it in spiritual terms, you automatically get hit with a wave of memory loss right off the bat. And if predictions are correct and true, which we know they are, humans aren't from here. We came here. And that's a Billy Carson side for you guys that I'll link that video below as well so you can kind of see what I mean by that. So that's one. We're coming into the atmosphere, we automatically are losing our memory, and then everything down here has electromagnetic frequencies. You can't escape it. It's in the plants, it's in us, it's in everything. Everything has a frequency. So that's one. The metals that are in our food, all of our products, are causing memory loss. Are you aware that there are certain metals that are in our food, that are in everything that we have, our deodorants, all of that stuff, that is causing memory loss, actively causing memory loss? In fact, I use aluminum-free deodorant because using aluminum-based deodorant, can cause dementia. And these are metals that are also in our... So, that just kind of puts in a frame for you how much we're being exposed to things that are losing our memory. Now, this is where it gets into some more fun things, right? So, in the biblical texts and in many scholarly understandings, interpretations, it's believed that prophets and people are trapped in a karmatic cycle of death and rebirth, meaning you can't leave. That would explain reincarnation, because we just keep forgetting, right? So as soon as we're done and we come back, we forget again. Okay, this now ties in with other theologies, right? Because that's the whole idea of theology, is we're applying these understandings into real world occurrences. Now, in biblical text, it also says those who hear, those with ears who hear, not who see, because your eyes are deceiving you. Your memory is constantly fading. Think about how big memory loss is as a problem to people. You'll be talking, you're like, oh, I forgot what I was saying. Or people will just forget. They'll forget things that they were talking about. They'll be mid-sentence and they'll be ranting and they'll forget. And the last biblical text reference for you, which some of you might be like, oh, how is the biblical text? Everything's connected, and if you don't see the importance of the biblical text in terms of humanity's existence, the Great Awakening, things like that, well, you got some work to do. So, in the Bible, in a verse, it actually says that God punished man with memory loss. Your bad deeds will be punished with memory loss. It's an actual verse. I will also link that below. It's a punishment, right? Well, you want to disobey me, you want to go against what I asked you to do, well, I'll just make you forget. This would also explain genetic memory. You see, genetic memory is one of those things that they call a pseudoscience. Genetic memory is very real because I have genetic memory, and I know many people that do have genetic memory. How do we know things that we don't know, that we've never lived, that we've never existed? It's little pecks of our memory from different lives, right? And some of us are able to remember them stronger than others. Some of us are able to recall things. That's why some people know. Leonardo da Vinci said it best when he said there are people that know, people that can be shown, and then those that will never see. Now this is where it gets interesting. It turns out adrenaline helps with your memory. When you take adrenaline, it actually helps you remember. Would that possibly explain the obsession with adrenochrome? Because you see, the thing about the deep state, those in charge, whomever you want to call them, they have gotten us convinced that they know what's going on. But the truth is, they don't. All they know is what we know. They're navigating and trying to figure it out the best they can, but they keep forgetting too. Because you see, where we are at in the solar system, our placement in this universe, the time of which we're moving, we're not aging too quickly, but we are aging, right? So even those here on Earth in power, as desperate as they are to find the truth, they can't escape their own humanity. Now, when it comes to hertage, sound, things like that, they actually did tests on restoring memory, and it turns out that 40 hertz is the optimal hertz to restore memory. Meaning you can literally play this hertz and it will help bring back memory to people. Now, remember when I said earlier in the video that everything operates on a frequency? Human beings, at their highest, operate at 16 hertz. So if we're operating that much lower than the optimal hertage to maintain memory, that tells you that the higher you raise your frequency, the more you remember. So really, in coming to this, my biggest question was, why don't we discuss forgetting the ancient knowledge like we do amnesia or dimension? Why is it considered a pseudoscience when it's common occurrence for millions? I mean, we know why, right? They want us to believe that we're not as great as we are. But that's why I beg you to ask yourself the question, why aren't we talking about these things? Why are we seeing them as mythical and far away and something that can never be touched? It's time that we start taking back what is rightfully ours. Knowledge is better than all the rubies in the world, and nothing can be compared unto it. Knowledge is better than all the rubies in the world, and nothing can be compared unto it. It's time that we remember, and that we really start trying to remember. You can't do anything about your environment, but you can raise your frequency. You can start using better products. You can research the things that you know are making you forget, and you can start challenging your mind. Do mind games. Read books. Write things down. You see, that's why I started doing Toll, because I had so much of this information in my head and I wanted to remember it. And I refused to forget this time. So I started writing it down and documenting it. I hope that was interesting for you guys. Be sure to leave comments below. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and I will see you on another episode of the Nexus of Truth. Keep it pointy.